Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. I am also clearing my throat. Hi, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Disco. Hello, Dukasoft. Oh, sorry. Adjusting. And Broken Sword in for the resub. I was talking to you recently. I say hello. You know, stream would be a good time to go through that, by the way. Friday streams. Anyway, it's Friday. Friday means Community Day on our channel, which means that I invite any of you who feel like it to hop into a voice channel on Discord once we get the stream started. I will verify that my audio output is set to set to record the audio that comes out of Discord, which it is, so that'll be on the VOD. So if you're not comfortable with your voice being recorded or a conversation being recorded, then probably don't want to hop into a voice channel. Otherwise, if you are, then we'll get started soon and we will start Community Day and all. But just want to say hello first. Second, why is this thing so short on this screen? Huh? You can be wider. And then you can be centered too. Center horizontally, please. There you go. Cool for the luck. I think that's what it says. Anyway. Thindal is here. Thindal is in the waiting room, so he is ready to get this started too. So let me get this screen up, get my virtual camera started. Are you ready for me to pull you into the stream room, Thindal? Aye. All right, let me get my virtual camera started so you can see the desktop in real time as well. And are you ready, Broken Sword? I'm gonna pull him in. I think he's ready.
It's quiet in here.
It is quiet in here. Are you excited about the new .NET 8 Blazor feature? So I was just talking about that yesterday in our Discord, where I finally was able to. I was finally able to sit down and watch. I stand all day, and watch the Dan Roth presentation from a week ago on the new Blazor features in .NET 8. Oh,
is it good?
It is amazing. So,
can you do
short answer,
a
Yankos?
60-second cliff note?
60-second cliff note. No, I don't remember all of them. I just know that I want to try them. A lot of the stuff he talked about had to do with. So he started off his. Oh, I guess I do remember. He started off his talk with talking specifically about server rendered stuff and how you can enhance its interactability by using various new Blazor features, which is really cool because you're doing all of this stuff that would typically require JavaScript in C#, which is what Blazor is all about, but adding it to server-side rendering things that are already existing with server-side rendering things, and then being able to mix having content that is actually rendered on the server that doesn't have interactability. But then when you go to one of your pages that does, then you can do stuff like submit forms, do list additions and stuff without needing to do postbacks and stuff. Which is
so that's United, right?
Whatever it's called now, but yes.
The thing.
The thing. And then he finally, like after talking about all of those amazing features, he finally talked about the WASM. The new WASM features that are coming up, and those are cool. Can't really remember them right off the top of my head. I just know that I was really excited.
How long was the video?
An hour.
An hour, all right. Yeah,
yeah.
I can set an hour aside.
Yeah, and I was watching it while I was working, so that's why I don't really have all of the memory details.
I think
that's what I do.
something made a noise of some kind.
Yeah, I think Broken Sword sneezed. Bless you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, man.
I'm amazing.
Well, thank you. How
so
are
good
you?
to see you.
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
I
I'm
feel
chilling
that.
today.
I feel like we need a Duca in here.
Duka soft. I
Duka
only
duka
want
duka
people
duka.
who are comfortable with coming in here, and I think
Oh yeah,
that
of
might
course.
be a little
Of course.
anxiety riddled. I mean, I already have
Yep.
enough anxiety on my own that I don't need to give off any more anxious energy.
Yeah, no pressure.
But
No
yeah,
pressure
Jankos or
whatsoever.
Jankos. I don't really know how to pronounce your name, but I do have a secret project that I've been working on since I was about 10 years old called Janko. But anyway, what are your excited things about .NET 8? And also you guys who are currently in chat.
I've barely looked at it, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the what's it called? Well, United. From what I understand about it, but I'm gonna take a look at that video.
Yeah.
Make sure to see if it is what I expect it to be.
Oh, I think it's going to be what you expect it to be and more. So the whole thing about in WASM, you can tell a component to render using a specific mode, or just in your Blazor UI in general. You can tell it to render using a specific mode for that component everywhere you use it, or what would be more beneficial is when you use the component itself, that's when you specify this new render mode attribute, or yeah, it's still an attribute when it's here. So at render mode equals, and then whichever render mode you want. So he talked through having it server rendered and then sent as static content, but still interactable. So I guess it's dynamic content. But the one that I really liked when he talked about was, of course, the one that I think you're most excited for, which is render mode auto. And so what render mode auto does do, which we were kind of wondering whether it was going to do this or not, is it will start off.
Does it render the component directly to string? Is what it said back there.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is
I'll tell
kind
you
of
about
what
that one in a
I'm
second. That
after.
one's cool too. Finally being able to get the rendered HTML from a component. Oh my gosh.
Oh, into your code.
Yeah.
So you can render it and get the HTML out in a like literal string variable.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
that is
this
cool.
was my most excited one. I forgot. See, and it's because it was so close to the end. But real quick, render mode auto is where it will do the thing where it checks to see is the .NET runtime already downloaded. Oh, here it is. Is the .NET runtime already downloaded? If it is, then use WASM. If it's not, then use server and then download the WASM .NET runtime.
Yeah, and then do that handover that I'm really excited about, right?
Yeah. Well, it's
So
not really a
switch from
handover.
server to client.
It's the next time you visit is when it will.
All right.
Use that.
Yeah, but still, it's insanely cool. It'll lower the loading times and everything. And
Okay, so
yes,
let's talk about
since
the thing that you
someone, I'm
pointed
not
out.
sure who, asked, yes, I'm real. I'm not an AI voice.
Not.
You just have such a nice, calming voice that it seems like it's AI.
Thank you. I think.
I'm kidding, but
He's kidding. You don't
I'm
have
excited
a
about
voice.
.NET 8 because I'm hoping that Blazor has a solid use case for customer-facing apps, and no longer will the argument of slow load times be a concern or a valid argument in general.
Yeah, and that's exactly this thing. You know, load like right away from the server, just like any other ASP.NET page, and then the next time it'll run it on the client.
So, like,
if
it actually does do that and achieve that, in my opinion, I think that there'll be no reason for a .NET developer to ever really use another framework like React or something.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I'm hoping will happen. Because I
agree with you.
like Blazor a lot. I actually love Blazor, and I introduced it to the company I work for, and I hope that the adaptability just picks up. You know, like I don't care what other people do. I really don't care. You can work in whatever you want. But what I hope is that enough people continue to use Blazor where Microsoft continue to make it their shiny project, and it's something they love to continue investing in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and you hear people say, you know, what about Silverlight? They tried to come out with something like this before. Have you heard this much hype around something that Microsoft have put out for developers, for web development technology?
Not since I heard about it for the first time, which is fairly recent. It's kind of weird because it kind of exploded. I had no idea it existed for like 2 years. Like literally, I didn't know Blazor was a thing for 2 years after it was released. And then once I saw it, it started popping up literally everywhere at once.
Oh, it is
yeah.
exactly
Another
the
thing
same
is,
live coding says.
Another thing is we had a senior dev, quote unquote, where I work, and he just kept insisting on using Angular. And I consider myself maybe a mid dev, maybe if I'm lucky. You know, I'm kind of. I was able to do my work much faster than he was. You know, and my applications were actually even broader in scope. And whenever it come to doing things like Windows authentication, which is, I know, kind of old, or just interacting with, you know, on-prem servers hosting IIS, I know that's a little old too, but it was just very easy. It was extremely straightforward, and there was no complexity involved, like the cascading auth state,
Right.
or all those templates that come out of the box are just really amazing. I mean, features, if you're in a .NET shop, and I was just able to leverage that, and it really made me look like a superstar at work because I was just getting, I was knocking things out of the park.
You were sharing your stories left and right about these things you were able to get done with this new knowledge that you were just getting like bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you can share all the, you know, back-end code and just, here are my DTOs, deal with them and show them to the user, and you have everything basically at your fingertips right there. I mean, your speed, coming from someone who's barely done Blazor, but that must be really quick to work with.
Yeah, it was
currently,
super fast. Yep.
Yeah, I'm currently building my first semi-large, actually kind of small Blazor project right now, just for testing out before I get to the massive, extremely complicated thing.
Because you'll make one project called a Blazor Web project. Instead of Blazor Wasm or Blazor Server, you'll pick Blazor Web. And then you'll be able to do all of the things that you already have, and then just start incorporating Blazor into it. Not even with YARP. Not even needing YARP. Unless you have a .NET framework.
building everything. I'm building everything as components. So I should just be able to lift and shift them into a Net 8 project.
Yeah, and that was the recommendation he gave, is when you are doing like reusable components, don't use the render mode attribute on the component itself. Leave that to the consumer to specify it on the usage. But this thing here was the thing that you pointed out, which was you can get the HTML back as a string, I believe as a string, as a string, from a component that you want to render using your code.
That is insane.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yeah. So you could literally run a Blazor application inside of a normal static application, just get the HTML out and output it. Which, I mean, it kind of sounds weird, but if you have a component that does a rendering of some kind that you want, just run it on the server and output it. And that sounds really cool. I need to watch this entire presentation.
Yeah, it has so much good information. One of the things that he said is like for an existing, I think they were Razor pages or an MVC app. I can't really remember.
Gilgamesh?
But that
yes,
does
this is the same Thindal.
that does the whole post back when you click on links or submit forms. If you add the blazor.web.js script, then you will suddenly be able to do a thing where when you submit a form, it will intercept that request and turn it into a fetch request. And then that's how it does the interactivity without needing to do the full post back. It'll still go to the server. The server will still do the render HTML and send back the rendered HTML. But then the thing that intercepted it will say, I'll take care. This is how he said it, I think. I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry about it. And then applies the diff to the DOM instead of reloading the whole page. It was so good.
Yeah.
But this thing here, this one is going to, oh, thank you so much for the follow, Gilgamesh. This one is something that I am still considering how I'm going to use, but it's called section outlets, which is similar to ASP Razor Pages outlet or sections.
You watched this whole video online?
I did. Oh man,
I want to watch it as well, but if you don't mind, can you like maybe summarize all the cool things?
Yeah, that's what I just
did. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I asked him to do, and that's kind of what we're still doing. I asked for 60-second cliff notes, and we're still going, and I love it.
Yeah, we're still going. So you remember in MVC or Razor Pages, you can do like the @scripts or @render scripts in your layout, for example. So a section outlet is kind of like that. You say, in this component, in my main layout component, I have a section layout with this name top row. Then wherever I have a component inside, a child component inside this thing, I can use section content, section name, whatever the target is, and then put whatever content inside of there. It's so...
Thank you. I mean, it's so doable today as well, but it is really clunky.
Thank you, Jankos or Yankos. Let's rechat real quick, because there's a lot.
And Sheer Skilgamish. Nice seeing you here.
Yes, yes. Oh, wait. I thought you were saying ready to come into the voice channel. Peter said, I'm excited for .NET 8 feature of ongoing remediation of known vulnerabilities. I don't really know very many of the vulnerabilities. I just use it. I really appreciate .NET 8 roughly November, or will really appreciate .NET 8 roughly November 12th when .NET 6 goes out of support, because a lot of companies only ever use LTS.
Oh, I have a lot of it.
Yes, I do too.
Sorry.
No worries. And then Yanko said, you can have a component where server rendered the first time. This is when we were talking about render modes. Then download the WASM in the background and then use client rendering as long as that is cached. So if it finds the already downloaded .NET runtime, the thing that I think is going to be the game changer is if Microsoft are able to have the .NET runtime shipped with the browser. Because that would be, you won't have to download the runtime, and WASM will be the fastest possible .NET front end.
Yeah, like it's included in Edge, and if you're running something else, Chrome, it'll download it. But if you're on Edge, it'll use the current runtime that's already installed. That would be awesome.
And then Live Coding had some revisited trauma, because I said a word. Then Junko says, I tried to convince the company to use it for some new projects, but we had just gotten bit by the word EOL. I don't know what EOL is. Something license?
End of life.
I know. Gosh. Give me a second. I'm kidding. So they chose React instead. Yeah. And it's not the same technology-wise, but exactly the same hype. And I'm surprised about that, because I don't remember Silverlight being as hyped up about this as this, because first of all, the internet back in 2012, and second,
I mean, Microsoft paid a crap ton of money to stream Super Bowl with only a Silverlight player, just to get adoption and have people download the client. So I mean, it was the same as Flash, as Java, as everything else. You had to download an application that then got hooked into the browser. But with Blazor, I mean, it's native.
Just like it's everything else, whereas Blazor is like, this is something shiny and
Yeah, I mean, Blazor is in the browser. You don't need to download anything more than what you get when you visit the page. And that is the really cool part.
Yeah. Some comments going back and forth. Junko said, "Can you expand on this?" To to Peter talking about the vulnerability fixes. And Peter said, "The best argument for Blazor I saw was Jeffrey Palermo saying that Blazor sped up teams an estimated 20%. Awesome. And that makes sense given the JavaScript ecosystem."
Yeah, I've heard Jimmy Engstrom say about the same thing when they adopted Blazor as their internal UI their internal application started using Blazor as their UI. The development speed just went through the roof.
And that's definitely what we do now. More chat. Gilgamesh asked about you, and you said hello. It's me, same one from Sedalix's channel. If you guys don't know Sedalix, that is who Gilgamesh just mentioned.
Sedalix is probably the nicest robot I know.
He's cool.
Yeah, Broken just dropped out. Aw.
He has he left a message. He needs to go pick up some wedding rings. He's gonna get married soon, dude.
What?
That's something you tell
if
us
you're
in
still
Boys
here,
channel, man. That's cool.
Congrats, man.
Definitely congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, good stuff. Okay, Junko said, yeah, he talked about using Blazor components inside React. So it is super easy. I've heard, I haven't actually done it yet, but super easy to turn your Blazor components into custom HTML elements that you can use anywhere. I love that feature of it. But that's been around since .NET 6, I want to say. Then Peter did respond to Junko saying JavaScript ecosystem is galaxy-sized. There is a long history of smaller alternative, rich web frameworks that all dead. Java applets. Oh my gosh, Java applets. One of the things that I was trying to help maintain was an Oracle page that connected directly to an Oracle database, and it ran through a Java applet, and we had to make sure that it was compatible with everything possible, even though it wasn't.
Yeah, Java applets. As I said, Java applets, Flash, Silverlight work the same way behind the scenes. I wonder, do you think Black Sheep was the reason that Flash exploded so much and kind of became the industry standard? It was a page with stupid meme videos and games, pretty much.
Back so kind around, of like
2010-ish. Yeah, exactly.
The one that I can't think of that everyone used.
Stuff like, Badger and Look 'em High Horse and stuff like that, if you remember those.
Nope. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I probably have seen them. I've consumed a lot of internet media, so
yeah,
most likely have encountered them.
Overall, very stupid things, but they were funny when I was like 15.
Welcome 20. Back, Dukasoft.
I was 20. Hey, Duka. With all the nice emotes.
And then Peter actually put in the lifecycle thing to talk about the LTS versus what's the non-LTS support? Called? The intermediary ones. The ones where if you want the latest features, grab this. They're stable. Use them. The next LTS will come out before the non-LTS's life cycle ends, so why not just go ahead and keep updating your .NET versions?
So are the even numbers the LTS? So 8, 10, 12.
Yes, I had to think about that. I'm like, we're on .NET 7 currently, and that's not LTS, so yes.
But I mean, .NET 7 will be supported and will be getting patches for quite a while longer. It's just that 8 will keep going even longer, right?
It is called SDS, you're right, short-term support.
I mean, end of support there for .NET 7 is 2024.
Yeah.
Which, all right, yeah, that's only half a year past November. So yeah.
But really, I mean, because the changes now between each of the .NET versions is not like super breaking, it is pretty easy to just change the version number in your project and not have to do too much.
Problem is all the abandonware out there. You know, people put something online, they buy something from a consulting firm, for example, and then they use it, and all of a sudden they're no longer in support. If you take a look at Framework, I mean, now it's out of support, but 4.8, I mean, it was an insanely long time. I think it dropped out of support just a year ago or something, and they stopped developing on it.
Oh, interesting.
7 years ago, something.
I didn't know that it was finally out of support.
Yeah, it is. They have what's it called? They have promised to do pure security patches for it, and in that case, mostly concerning cryptography. But other than that, you're SOL.
Yeah,
I'm not
crazy.
going to expand that because it contains ugly words.
Use your language. I mean, be considerate, but if it happens to be appropriate for whatever you're saying.
Yep.
I'll just yell it from chat. What are you going to yell from chat? Wasm might change the balance fundamental. Oh, about web components? I don't know. Web components are semi-failure adoption-wise. Yeah. I think you're talking about the custom HTML elements created from stuff like React or Blazor. I don't know for sure. I kind of remember web components being a completely separate thing. You know, the internet has answers.
I have literally no idea.
So essentially, it is an HTML element that has internal logic where you type angle bracket, name of the element, and then it renders a specific way. Like for me, it could be an entire page, Blazor page. But Wasm might change the balance fundamentally because Wasm, in fact, part of the browser, and in theory, touches the same DOM instead of rebuilding it from scratch, like a shadow DOM, for example. Although, I do have something that I do want to bring up today, but we'll get to that after I catch up in chat. For the Thindal, cheers. Oh, he was following because of you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for bringing followers, Thindal. Really appreciate that.
Not sure how that works, but it's all good.
And then also congratulations and cheers to Broken Sword from Gilgamesh. Janko said, for those of us new to the channel, can you summarize the financial management app you're working on? Absolutely. So today's community day, we won't really be working on it much today, but I can definitely just give you a quick run through. First of all, you can find the documentation for how we decided to do this project and what is in the hello bot. Was that you, Thindal? Did you break my bot?
I did not.
He says from 20 miles away.
Yep.
He's coming back from kicking my bot.
No, I'm coming back from getting a thing. Let's see if you can hear this. Nope, you couldn't. It didn't activate the mic. I just got a Red Bull.
Oh, you're cracking open a Pabst.
Fridge.
Got it.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with my bot. Anyway, let's see. GitHub.com/unleon. Okay, so this is the project website. Has a quick introduction of what the app is supposed to be, but I will tell you verbally. So the financial management project is a full stack Blazor everything app, cross multi-platform application that we decided to do as the stream project. MojoBot. Hello, Mojo. Oops, that's BitGate.
Did you get unified with Maui working?
I haven't tried. I haven't downloaded .NET 8.
No, I mean with 7. The
is
Blazor
unified?
inside of a Maui.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this solution that I have, that I created, has a Blazor WebAssembly, which is comprised of the typical things you see in a Blazor WebAssembly project: the client, the hosted API, and a shared project, as well as a Blazor server project, which uses the server-side implementations of everything, as well as Maui. So the only thing that we've had issues with in Maui is in the pipeline build, or what is it called? GitHub Action.
Yeah, it took forever to build it, right?
But that's it. That's the only issue, as well as
I
UWP
think we had problems
and
with the Chrome or something as well, right? On Windows? I mean, we're talking way back when.
Yeah, I was trying to have a custom theme on it. That's where the main issue came in. Oh, I guess.
Did you end up abandoning that, or did you manage
or
to
no, I'm
solve
sorry.
it?
I got that working in WPF for my work project, because that was the main thing I was exploring that for. And I ended up just creating a custom control that started as a window, and then I added a lot of functionality to it, and I used the Windows API to target the non-client area. But yeah, you can see the entire journey that we took for this project here as well, although most of my streams are just talking with chat, even though we did get a lot done. But starting here, or in the playlist called Project 1, this one. It talks through the entire process. So the intent behind doing this project was to show a full, an entire .NET development from beginning to end, using good architecture design. I didn't do very good at those parts. Programming practices, using a Git repo, using issues and pull requests, not locking down the main. Thindal gave us this wonderful pipeline where when we get our tests, when we get our test turned on, then it will actually also use the test when I uncomment that from our pipeline. But yeah, so at least we have that kind of thing. So you can see what it would be like to work on a team as well. But if you're doing solo dev work, this is still good practice to do. So some sort of branch strategy would be good, using a Git repository or some kind of version control, and then structuring your project and coming up with a design, doing tests, whether that's TDD or writing the test after you write the functionality, just keeping up with that. But the financial management tracker itself is just an app that will allow a user to track all of their financial transactions manually. It doesn't connect to the banks or financial institutions. It is all data entry. You put in whatever your payments were, type in your receipts. There's no computer vision to read receipts. That would be fun to do. We can add it. But I have zero intention to do something that replaces Mint. This is really to replace my own Access database version of this same app. And that's about it. Okay. Was that enough rundown? I hope that was enough rundown. Mojo said, I have it working now, but I'm just curious as to why it didn't work that way. What are you talking about, Mojo? The first message didn't appear. Oh, your Mojo bot. Your Mojo bot. It really should have appeared. I don't have it blocked or anything. Mojo bot. No? Night? And you're welcome for the overview. We will get back to it on Monday. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I do work on it for 2 hours if I'm not completely distracted. We're currently working on this calculator functionality. We have some tests, some unit tests on it that we're trying to turn green. And I completely hosed all of the tests by making a small change. So we are working on that. Posted a pic in Discord. The context for my working now message is missing. Doop. Open. Why can't I write if... Why is this missing? Are there any end-to-end tests? There are end-to-end test frameworks. Thank you so much for asking. I will show that to you. I have it working now, but I'm just curious as to why it didn't work that way. If not variables, for variables that are nullable bools. Because you would have to do variables.value for nullable value types. They are like structs that get this has value property on them that tells you whether it's null or not. So if you try to not a null, that's not a thing. But if you try to not a Boolean question mark dot value question mark whatever your default value is for it, then that should work. Okay, so Berord, can you help me pronounce that, Thindal? Are you still here?
I'm here.
Can you help me pronounce his name? Their name?
Hold on, I was looking at something.
Don't look at something. Look at chat. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
It's
I
a Dutch
can't say that. Berord?
Thindal is Swedish. It's close enough to
Yeah,
Dutch.
sorry.
I'm kidding.
Sorry, no.
Okay, anyway, end-to-end testing for tests. There is a framework created by Eagle Hansen called BUnit. Eagle Hansen is someone who used to stream a lot, and he streamed his development of this, but I'm sure he is like super busy now. Really, really cool guy. But he created BUnit, which is built on top of whatever testing framework you like. So if you use NUnit, use NUnit. If you like XUnit, then use XUnit. But that allows you to So this is kind of an end-to-end test where we are rendering a component. We're acting on that component. We're pushing buttons and we are having an expected render that we're supposed to get back. So then we get that rendered content back and then we check it for the things that we were expecting. So we're looking for an element with this ID and its content must be whatever we're expecting to see, or it must exist, or something like that. So what you would see in a normal end-to-end. Why do you keep typing that?
What?
Your bot.
Yeah, I'm testing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was what I was doing. We were talking about bots earlier, and then I figured out,
Yeah.
oh, wait, my bot isn't working.
And my bot should now be working. Here we go.
But I'll disconnect it because it can do absolutely nothing whatsoever.
Oh, no. You don't have to. I mean, as long as it's not, like, jumping on people's messages.
Yeah, but that's it can't do anything.
Ah.
It's very, very not done.
Mine is also very, very not done. I will, like what I was hoping to talk with Broken Sword is all of the Discord stuff that he set up for us. So he's the one that created the Discord bot that tells us when we go live, even though that part's broken, and when we end.
Mm-hmm.
As I expected something along the lines of Playwright, for example. But yes, you can use Playwright with Blazor. This is more still a unit test kind of thing. like even though you are rendering a component and you're checking HTML stuff for expected behavior, it really is, you're just checking one aspect of one component. You're mocking everything else around it. Instead of you are clicking through the app and navigating to different pages and expecting it to not crash, kind of thing. So definitely Playwright is still a good end-to-end type thing to use in place of this. And I hear it's pretty simple to set up. I want to set it up. Maybe we'll do that on the stream. But I have never done it yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I mean, I think Fritz set it up either today or yesterday, one of those, and I mean, it was done in like an hour max. It was done before that, I think.
And he usually posts his VOD too, right? So like he's still streaming currently.
Yeah, I think he does. If not, I mean, his VODs are on Twitch. He saves them at least. 60,
90 days. What if he has Turbo? What is it called? Turbo? Then it's like 90 days.
Partner, right?
Oh yeah, he's a partner. I forgot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So his stay even longer.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think he kind of cheated with that by building and documenting tons of the Twitch API. I'm not sure if he built it, but he documented a lot of it at least. So if you go into the docs, you can actually see our stream team is like the example test things.
Cool.
Oh,
So
and
the
I'm
Twitch
actually
live
building
coders.
a bunch of Azure functions to keep track of when people go online, offline.
Oh, cool.
And,
yeah. And I
also
do all of
store
mine
the
through
data.
hosted API. Because I'm lazy.
But also it's going to store the data so you can get statistics out about how often someone streams and
So same.
what they've been up to and things like that.
Yeah. Mine is still hosted API. So I did mine in Blazor, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my front end-ish, my in-progress front end for my bot. And this is how I know that it was connected finally. This is how I join. I use this thingy here. And
Very
then
pretty.
here's all of my possible commands, whether they're on or not. One thing that we were trying to do on one stream was make this interactable so I could turn a command on and off through the UI. Add a command, update commands, all that fun stuff.
Mom joke / Does it say after? I've got to try that.
There's only one response that it gives.
Oh, exclamation marks. And hashtag. Yeah, I don't get
You
that.
don't get it.
No, I don't get it.
Good.
I'm
Maybe
too
one day you
Swedish, I
will.
think.
When you get old, you'll understand it. Only when you get old, not when you get older. Just when you get old.
Well, not gonna work ever then. I'm
Exactly.
12 for life.
12 for life.
Give me a good old poop joke and
Okay, I'm gonna start a new topic with you. What do you know about accessibility?
aria.
Okay, what is ARIA?
That is tags to describe what something is, or like attributes on HTML tags.
For what
Other than
purpose?
that, screen readers and things like that. Other than that, no.
Cool. So you know the term
Yeah,
semantic HTML as well.
A11T.
Yeah, because everyone is lazy, and so we don't want to type out accessibility. So we type A, 11 characters in the middle, Y.
I think isn't it actually like a group or something as well?
There is.
I'm not sure.
Well, WAI is the people that create the standard, essentially. The Web Accessibility Initiative. Why?
Why?
This does not look right.
No.
Web ass is what I typed. Okay, so web. No. Would you people stop? Okay, so W3 Consortium has the Web Accessibility Initiative with ARIA. So here is the thing that gets me about accessibility. I have needed to do a lot of UI work for my current job, and a lot of that has to do with making the app accessible because we distribute our app through the Microsoft Store, and any apps that go through the Microsoft Store have to be accessibility. They have to conform to FIDO compliance, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay. And it worked for the most part. Like, it was pretty good just by me developing the way that I develop. But you remember we had a discussion about when to use main and when to use sections and stuff? Well, one of the things that demystified that for me is when you are thinking about using these semantic tags. Oh, yeah, I guess I meant to go off of your statement. This just turned into a lion chat.
There's also the role attribute, if you've seen that.
Yes, role. But first we're going to start with your statement about ARIA. Yep. So you know about ARIA. And you know semantic HTML, which are not just these new tags that came in HTML5, but also things like input and button and select and other things that have semantic meaning to a HTML document. And so essentially, I was super confused because number one, you look at this and you're like, it's a lot of words. Sure, I want to be 508 compliant, so how do I do that? In the US, it's 508 compliance, or Americans with Disabilities Act stuff. And it's like there's all of this documentation that you have to read through and understand and digest in order to be able to create an accessible app. So that got really, really... What's the word that I used earlier?
Annoying?
No. Intimidating? There's another word that I used. But anyway.
That might be a better word than annoying.
Here's all of these rules that you have to follow in order to be accessible. But honestly, what you should be focusing on is structuring your HTML and CSS. Well, not even your CSS. Which this was a great analogy that I heard because I was watching videos on this, and that's how I learned. Think of HTML as the structure of a document, because that's what it is. You structure your document in a specific way so that users with sight can see content in an ordered way. Users with limited sight or anyone that is using a screen reader for whatever purpose can also navigate it using your document structure. However, when you use semantic HTML, your document structure actually has things with meaning. So I hope I don't have this going through any of my...
Mouse mode on.
I do.
Narrate.
You can hear that, can't you?
Audio mix. Scroll bar at 0%. Exiting narrator.
Let me change my audio source real quick.
What am I supposed to hear?
You didn't hear it, stream did.
Nope. All right.
They heard it on the same channel or the same device as you. This. Because we don't really need to hear it, we just need to see it.
Mouse mode on. Narrator. Set. OBS to output device. Out. Headphone. Out. Input device. Default. Output device. Headphones. Aeropex by Aftershocks. Combo box. Collapsed. OBS 2 9.1.3. Profile. My usual profile. Scenes. My speakers. Yeti stereo microphone. 11 of 11.
Because I'm doing OBS. Oh my gosh.
Default. OBS 2 9.1.3. Profile. Narrator. Real Tech Digital. Out.
Narrator.
Oh geez. Except that's gonna give me a heart attack.
You can always just mute it if you don't want it at all.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you select the Thindal voice instead of the default one? Yes. Okay. So what I was trying to get to is that when you use a screen reader and you are navigating around a document, you're using the arrow keys, not tab. So there are certain key presses that you use with Windows Narrator specifically, and most narrator applications do come with specific keyboard shortcuts. But one thing that I learned about is that a lot of users who use screen readers, the first time they come to a site or they come to a site that they're not familiar with, why won't you open over here? They often use, you're not going to see it because it keeps opening on the other screen. They often use this thing here. Will this open on the other screen? If I do this.
If they search for like a tag.
Okay. They use something like this, where they list out the document structure. And then they find out what all is in the website, and then they navigate to where they want to get to. So they want to jump to somewhere, they use this to get to it.
That
So
is
with that,
actually pretty smart.
yeah. So that got me thinking. The only thing you really have to think about when you are structuring your HTML documents and your components and stuff is how will a user that uses a narrator be able to get to it using that kind of approach? They pull up their accessibility tree, and then they just want to arrow down through, here's my main website stuff, which is what your main should be. This is where the main content is. Here are my headers, level H1 through H6, and the recommendation for using headers, which are semantic, is to not skip any headers. Don't use header HTML elements to size your header. If it is actually a header at level 1, use a H1. And use CSS to size it for site users. Cited. Number 2 is all of this talk about using roles and ARIA tags. This should be things that happen only if you need it. If you're using semantic HTML elements, you won't really need those except for in cases when you're trying to identify this. When you get to this section, it's actually labeled by like a checkbox, for example.
Yeah, like what the... I mean, you have label 4.
Exactly, yeah. So that'll do it for sure. Label 4 or putting it like this. Span class, no. My checkbox label. Okay, so when it navigates to this, narrator will read that it is a checkbox, or my checkbox unchecked. So it knows the state, but if you try to create your own checkbox for sighted users,
and then
like because you want it to have a nice fancy background, animation, whatever. Oops. Then they don't really have a way of knowing. So that's where you have role is checkbox, ARIA checked equals, and then so you get the state and all of that. ARIA tags are for enhancing generic HTML elements with semantic roles and attributes.
Yeah.
So how do you know if you did it right? Oh, go ahead.
You use a screen reader, I guess, like the one you had, right? Test it.
Easier one.
No.
In Chromium applications, Edge, Chrome, I think Firefox might even have it too. If you open up the accessibility section, you can check this box here that says enable full page access tree. It says you need to restart DevTools. Now you have this icon up here because what web browsers do with web pages is, one, they interpret the HTML and CSS and get a DOM out of it. And they process that DOM. But number 2, the thing that I learned about today from a talk from a Google guy, it was cool, is they create an accessibility tree as well, which is what do screen readers see when they come to this page. And so this will let you know, how is my page structured? Are my ARIA tags doing what I think they should be doing? So if we come over to a site like financial management, I'm afraid to do this because I haven't seen this. Is my site accessible?
Not very.
Aside from the other accessibility concerns, like, do I have high enough contrast?
Yeah, but I think like you have two sections there without any description of what they are.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So like this thing here, what is this? This is a list of list items. Not helpful to screen readers. But if I said for that list, top bar? No, not top bar. Does anyone know where this is? Okay, this has a row of tabs. Tab list.
Yep.
And then this has a row of item. I think.
Really?
Tab.
Shouldn't that be on like the item itself? Oh no, that's tab panel.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. And then these buttons are the things that toggle whether that thing is active. So since my button is more like a toggle button, then this thing should really have, where's the beginning of the button? Where's the end of the button? Here it is. Okay, so this will have an aria selected. I don't know why I'm not getting all of my. I
don't know. Here says aria dot dot dot. Kind of weird.
And then this has to
don't be evil.
What did Duka say? If you can hear this, press Alt F4. That's terrible. But funny.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, so essentially you tell this thing when it is the active tab. And then you also can reference the actual component down here that it's rendering to say you can find the content in this component. And typically when you switch tabs, like when you activate a tab, you would set the focus into the header for that content. So it's just a whole bunch of things like that. So I guess what I was trying to get to is when you hear someone else talk about using accessibility or making their site accessibility, it's daunting. That's the word I was trying to get to. When you go to look up the documentation for how to make something accessible, it seems really daunting, but the actual implementation of it is pretty easy if you use header, section, and if you think about it in the sense of you're structuring your page or your content in a way that someone without sight would be able to use a screen reader to just arrow through the main heading sections and then the main content sections to navigate around your page. They're not navigating a page with visual elements. They're navigating a tree that tells you here's the structure of a document. And that just made it so easy for me to think of main really is the main content of the page. That's where they want to jump to when they go to a new page. So now
I mean, technically that's what the entire browser does. I mean, it creates a document object model. It parses the HTML into objects of some sort and then renders those. Yeah. This is just sighted users, sub view of the DOM, right?
Yeah, so this strips out all of the things that a screen reader will not see. Oh yeah. And I guess I meant to just show what adding this role does real quick. So now it's a tab list. Oh, and I guess the button role would be something like navigation. But now I know that it's a tab list with 4 items, which means that it's going to activate an actual tab page when it is selected. It is selected. I was right.
Shouldn't you make that button into a component? It has a lot of stuff in it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, there were quite a few things that could be refactored.
Here's another dumb question. You're doing multi-line editing, but you have the caret at different places.
Yeah.
Did you select those manually?
I started with a box selection.
Yeah.
And I'll show you that real quick. At pasta to string to lower. The thing is that I think at least I've run into ARIA values needing to be case sensitive, so lowercase true when it's true, capital true doesn't actually work. But yeah, now we know which save, apply, do the thing. Anyway, we would know which tab is active. So for the way that I just did it, I started with a box selection, which is Alt-Shift arrow key. Yep. And that goes in a straight line, and then you can also go left and right. But in order to get them to be in line with the sections, from then on, I hold Control and use the arrow keys to navigate. And so right here, the next word is a different length for each of these, but I'm using Control to travel to the next word.
Ooh.
And so that lets me select just that.
Yeah, I've only, used only the arrow key when doing that, and that will not change the shape, if you want to say that, if you want to call it that.
It's my favorite. And then, of course, you know about the selecting the next instance of in previous instance.
Yeah.
And then all instances.
All instances? No.
So it's the same, except it's Alt-Shift semicolon. Or I guess at that point it's a colon.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those, shortcuts are really annoying for us Swedes because our keyboard layout isn't quite the same.
There really needs to be like a mapping for every language that makes it more convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a lot
to
of
get
chat.
a tilde, I need to test this just so I don't lie. But
And my broken A. Oops. No, I'm not talking about my rear end. Were you paying attention to chat though? That got me thinking. One line, don't make me think. Most popular UX book.
to get a tilde, I need to press Alt-GR, another button, and then click space. Because that makes sense, right?
No, does not make sense.
No.
I would default to the ASCII entry for it if I knew it. The Alt and then the keypad number for it. I only know like 4 of them. Alt-0191 is upside down. Alt-0191 is upside down question mark. 161 is upside down exclamation. 241 is Enya. Those are really the only ones I memorized.
You know the paragraph sign that's used for JavaScript string interpolation?
What is it?
You know which that is?
I don't.
Hold on, I'll paste it in chat. It's...
Yeah, don't make me think. Basically, what I'm hearing is that making your own custom controls is really hard but possible. So if you're me, stick with vanilla checkboxes and tell your business people it can't be styled the way they want. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Thindal.
Yeah, can you see wrote this one in the chat?
Oh, backtick.
No, the backwards. Yeah, backtick. That requires a shift and then the key next to backspace and then space on my keyboard.
Ah. And is the key next to backspace on your keyboard the plus and equal sign?
No.
No.
No, that's another step over.
Oh, man. So it's like your 1 actually starts at the top left then, where the tilde key would normally be?
No, hold on. I'll paste a full row.
Dukesoft is like same. Live coding, Peter said if you give a native label for every form element, you shouldn't need the ARIA descriptions. That is exactly right. Exactly right. Chat little known
the
fact,
last
you can
one in that.
ARIA screen readers on your browser by pressing Control W.
The last one in that after the plus also requires 2 clicks. But that's non-shifted, just my top row.
I wasn't thinking. If I wasn't in a league game, I would have hit Control W without thinking. Well played. You probably didn't even see it because you're busy.
Yeah, I didn't see. What did he write?
You can activate accessibility or screen readers in your browser by pressing Control W.
Oh, that closes the tab, does it?
Someone in yes, it does. Someone in
I've
Twitch got
always
me
used
with the
Control
Control W
F4.
thing. Yeah, Control F4, Control W. I don't use Control F4 as much anymore. I used to, but it's a lot easier for me to keep my hand down lower. Just like Control Shift R instead of Control F5 for reloading a page without cache.
Oh, have not tried that. See, I'm learning things.
I learn things all the time. Hit Alt F4 to dance in games. Yeah. I think
Mojo,
the first and only
my
time that
password is
really
Hunter 2.
nice. The first and last time that really actually happened to me, other than the Control W thing now, was in Lineage 2 when someone told me that that's how I dupe an item. I don't know what it was. It was probably something stupid like trying to duplicate an item, drop it on the ground and press Alt F4.
So you kind of deserved it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess that the item was gone when you came back in.
Yep.
Yep.
If that even was it. I mean, that was a contrived, made up example, but it feels like that's what happened. But I know that someone told me in Lineage 2 the way you do a thing was Alt F4. And at the time, I would have wanted to do something like dupe an item. Duke an item. Duke a soft item.
Yeah, Duke a soft item. That's a good one.
How much time is left? Good. So I talked about the accessibility thing briefly, but the main thing that I wanted to give as a takeaway, excuse me, for that topic is it's not as complex as you might think it is if you are already using stuff like labels, inputs, just the correct HTML elements for your visual markup. Don't try to make a header with a div, because divs are the generic kinds, and whenever you have divs, it's either going to be ignored or it is going to be treated as a I forget what the word is that it used, but anyway, I just found it to be really, really demystifying and really.
I've been using, semantic tags, header, main, footer, article, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's mostly been for, styling purposes. Instead of having to set an ID on something, I can just say the header looks like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm getting like half of the accessibility things for free if I do that.
Exactly.
It's remembering to do the other half and knowing what you're doing, what you should be doing. But that tool under F12, under the web tools.
Yeah, this thing here.
I did not know about that, and that is awesome.
I just started using it today, and I put it on my app, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're really close. It's structured almost the way that I want it to on every page. Yeah. The hardest one that I have not found good examples of how to do are cards. Like you will find, you know what? I have a link for it. The link that I just posted in chat, by the way, is the video that opened my eyes to how easy it can be to just add accessibility to your existing site. Mm-hmm. And he talked about a thing that is happening to me right now, which is if you have this in your normal development practice, it's going to make you a better developer because your UI is, for sighted users, your UI is going to actually be better. It's going to be structured correctly. They're going to be able to tab to places. But I fell into the trap of styling my headers for my cards using div structure, divs and spans. And I really should have used a header level 2 at minimum and then styled it as a header for my card.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to do that.
I can see what you're talking about, but I mean, you can change the age rendering to be like block, inline, whatever you want, right?
Yeah, definitely. So your CSS
So
styling.
you can make a header look exactly however you want.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was
still
trying to
say that
get
it's
to.
the header, right?
Thank you for saying that. So when you think about your DOM, you think about CSS associated with each element, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think of the accessibility tree, think of ARIA tags as the CSS for your semantic HTML markup.
Yep.
So roles are the elements, which buttons get their own role for free because it knows about them. Input, select, main, heading, footer, all of those, nav. But then the ARIA tags will be the state of it, the CSS for it for non-sighted users or for people using screen readers. Oh, did you actually post your picture, by the way? Because Jigsaw posted
Duke
his.
did.
But did you post yours? Do the other link.
No, but I can if you want me to.
I thought you said you were
Hold on
going
one
to.
sec.
You're going to show the top row.
Don't know. Yeah, I pasted. Just I clicked all of the buttons. Hold on, I'll show you my keyboard as well. It's not quite the same as Duke's, but it's fairly close. Right. One sec. I'm moving my microphone.
Your keyboard is not accessible, Dukesoft. Fix it. Okay, so it's this one. What kind of key is that? Oh, no worries about the grime on it. It's a keyboard. So, yeah, this is why probably my coworker was having trouble when I was telling him about the various symbols like semicolon and colon. And I'm like, semicolon and colon are on the same key. He probably had a keyboard because he is also foreign to US, I should say, just to make it extremely clear. He probably had a keyboard where the colon and semicolon were on different keys, and the comma and period are not on the left angle bracket, right angle bracket. And you get square brackets on 8, 9, and 0. Oh my goodness. This hurts. How do you do anything?
I just got a new phone, so I'm trying to find my Discord login on it.
I know you want to talk about it, so talk about it.
No, there's nothing to talk about. It's a new phone. But I'm
you
trying
already started
to log
talking
into
about
Discord.
it on what's his faces?
Yeah, of
Clay.
course I did.
Clay's channel.
Yeah,
So
of course I
talk
did.
about it here. You're allowed. This is a place where we welcome that. Hello, Big Amy.
Well, I got a fold. End of story.
And you haven't had enough time to play with it yet, so you don't have an opinion on whether it's
Exactly.
good or not. However,
Exactly.
it's hard for you to push the fingerprint key because it's further.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
content
Hey.
to me. I
All
wanted to
right.
hear that
Yeah.
from you.
So it's I had an S21, which is kind of dumb because it's a fairly new phone as well. But what's the face? The fingerprint reader on that thing was under the screen, and this is on the unlock button. And the unlock button works. I can't talk now. Works fine if you're holding the phone, but if it's lying down on the desk, for example, it's really hard to reach it to be able to unlock it. Does that make any kind of sense?
No.
The unlock button is, fairly small to the side, on the side of the device.
Something like this, maybe. I don't know. You won't be able to see it very well, but a thin button
exactly.
as the unlock.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
then like a home button that's maybe like this. Oh
No, there is no home button on this.
Okay.
The old phone had an under the screen fingerprint reader, but this one has the fingerprint reader on the small button instead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like for a Galaxy tablet, which is what I'm assuming is similar to a Fold when it's unfolded, they have this kind of ovular button, and that has the fingerprint reader on it, and that is super hard to use. So that's what I was imagining you were struggling with.
Yeah, it's on the the small button on the side, simply.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
So
when I'm holding it, it's really easy because I have it on my index finger. But when I'm have it lying down on the desk, it's hard to reach.
I'm listening, by the
trying
way.
to figure out how the heck to log into Discord on my phone. Isn't there like a QR code login?
Yes.
Where the heck do I find that? Anyone knows, feel free to help me because I can't quite find it.
I can't find it either. I was looking for my keyboard so that I could show Mojo, the keyboard that I used to use all the time because it's really easy to travel with and mouse not required, but it's one of the Logitech ones that's like compact and then it has a touchpad on the right side of it. No number pad though, which was kind of annoying sometimes.
Right, I got in. Let's see. What channel do you want it in?
Shared? Any? Is there an actual channel called Shared Any? Off topic.
Show off.
Show off. Yeah.
Shared Any, yeah. And then select file.
Hey, that's where Duke's output is. I just randomly
Yeah, it is.
that
It
one.
is. So yeah, I have it there as well now.
No, why is it rotated?
What do you think of my button?
I like your button. So they showed it on. Have you ever heard of React? It's a YouTube channel show thing.
I have not.
Anyway, they were like products with, just products. And
No
then
purpose.
they talked about
And no
they talked
actual
about this.
use.
But it has a use because it's a functioning enter key.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I had to remove my normal enter key so I'd actually use
Had
it.
to. You didn't have to.
Yeah, I had to. Well, I have a stream redeem that makes me use it.
Are these
But I had
pieces
to
of
remove
Zelda?
my enter key. Yes, those are pieces of Zelda.
Does she use the enter key?
Yeah, there are pieces of Zelda literally everywhere. But yeah, if I hadn't removed the enter key, I would have kept using it, but I have to force myself to use the big one when the redeem is on. DFlux is waiting, in fact.
Oh, DFlux is here. Scroll down. Hey, there he is. DFlux.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Good of you.
I usually ask if you're ready before pulling in, but yeah.
I've got my. I'm playing with my HoloLens.
Oh yay! Yeah, the one that you got off of eBay. Is it working like new?
Stand by.
Stand by.
Yeah, I've got to look, see if there's any available around here.
I mean, again,
kinda-
if you are not going to be developing on it, it is not a consumer product, really.
No,
It's for
I mean,
developers. It doesn't have very many apps on it. It's got
Sorry
a
about
lot
I
that.
of
like doing weird stuff.
abilities.
I had a different sound output, so I was talking. I apologize if I was talking over you guys. Otherwise.
You weren't.
Ah, awesome. Yeah. So I was saying that I got my HoloLens on my head right now. I'm trying to figure out a few things unsuccessfully, but how are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Well, there
The Amy
is
did come
a
in on time, by the way.
HoloLens. Huh?
Go ahead.
Come again?
Good.
Yeah, there is one HoloLens 2 available on the big second-hand websites here in Sweden.
Mhm.
It is about 2,200 US.
Ah, that's too much.
That's-
I got mine for
Yeah.
1,005.
I only got mine for $3,500.
Yeah,
Plus
but yours
tax.
is new, right?
Yeah. And warranted and was on a payment plan.
Yeah.
Because like I
year
expected
old
to be doing a
headset.
lot more development on it by now.
They're
but
going
I
for.
haven't.
There's one going for 1,003 right now.
eBay?
On eBay. Yeah, 1,000. The couple go for 1,003. or 1,004 for apparently it's still sealed in box.
I'm gonna be honest, that is too much money in my opinion. I'm planning on getting a Quest 3, I think, in
Which you can
October.
also do pass through AR.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
exactly what I was gonna
you
say.
still
It's like
are able to use or to learn AR development if you wanted to.
yeah. So
Okay.
instead of overlaying your stuff on top of the world, you underlay the world on top under
but-
your stuff.
Yeah.
Is it Meta 3? Was that similar to the other one I have? Is that the gaming one where it's like?
Yeah, it's the gaming one. It's not the Pro.
I
It's
was gonna
not
say,
the
'cause
2000.
that's Android, right?
No, I think it's custom.
Quest 2
I'm
is
not sure.
Android. The one I had, the Oculus Quest 2 is Android, is what I have.
Okay, then it's the same. Which means we can run Maui on it.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, so I'm planning on getting one of those. I'm on a
But
spending spree. I really don't have the
imagine-
money, but
Yeah, I just got out of a spending spree because I realized I really don't have the money. But I imagine Unity development is still the way you'll be going towards the.
yeah, I can
I'm,
imagine.
I'm,
Unless
I'm
you're
being hypnotized
doing
right now.
hypnotized by
Yeah, the
one
thumb
line
exercise.
doing that thumb
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
It's because I'm.
No, but I mean, if you're
I'm
doing a
reacting to chat as
entirely,
well while you guys are talking.
if you're doing like an entirely LOB application, more or less, then you could probably do it with Maui. But if you want to do anything graphically intensive, I'm guessing Unity is the way to go.
Well, okay, so that's basically that in a nutshell is my problem right now. Is that in a nutshell is basically I want to do line of business applications and I want to be able to. But my premise is, or here's what I was thinking I could do that I haven't figured out how to do, which is wouldn't be cool if you could use the geolocation ability of the HoloLens with a flat 2D LOB application. So, like, imagine if you walk past a machine and you have some magical code that says on the side of that machine, put this screen at this size. And have that basically be a glorified, web UI, whether it's Vue.js or Blazor or whatever.
The answer
and
is
just-
yes. That would be
Right.
cool.
Well, I know you and I have discussed it a couple times before, I think now, but I still haven't quite got my head around the whole. Unity is still on my to-learn radar. I still haven't quite figured out
Mine too.
the ins and outs.
Yeah, but
I
like
have
one of the
so
one
many
of the
Humble
cons-
Bundle tutorials that I bought on Unity, and I have done 0 of them. I've probably
Well,
spent like a couple of $100 on Unity courses in Unity Assets by this point.
The problem I have right now, and I don't know if I've been keeping an eye on that WebView 2 stuff because that sounds really interesting, especially for LOB applications in HoloLens or in Unity. And so I've been keeping my eye on it, but none of the tutorials. So I downloaded like their example code, and I cannot find one piece of documentation or tutorial that covers how to actually publish it from it running in Unity to the HoloLens.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's actually pretty easy then. I'll show you.
Well, I think so. Right now, I'm actually like stuck on like how to set up the project. Like I can hit the play button, but how do I actually like set up the project so I can deploy it or whatever?
You're talking deploy it, not just actively debug it on the HoloLens, right?
Well, no, run it on the HoloLens. I can run it locally on my machine.
What?
Lion looks confused.
I'm confused by this Mojo and Peter conversation. I use a
Oh.
40% keyboard sometimes, and everything is in an unusual spot. It becomes as natural as hitting Control W. Have you ever wanted your Enter key under one of your thumbs, while space under your other thumb? I was like, how? Huh?
Live coding is being evil.
You must have two
He's
thumbs.
been doing some streaming amongst the other things.
But like,
Mm.
it was just there were words in there that I did not understand.
Well, anyway, I don't want to because I did this before and I derailed your whole entire Friday with HoloLens stuff.
Dude,
I was just
it's
sharing what I was doing
community
stuff.
day. Thindal and I talked for an hour on random stuff, whatever topic came up, and then I forced a topic. And
Yeah, but I mean that's fine.
All right. Well,
Right.
if you're putting it that way, I'll give you the link to the actual thing I'm following. I don't know if you've actually you've been
I've
following
done a
this
few.
stuff.
Yeah. Is it from Microsoft
Well-
Learn? You said the Lunar
Well, this is the
Lander?
new WebView 2 stuff.
Oh yeah,
that,
yeah. I did try a
that-
little
that-
bit of it.
And so
I'm a bit
I went
worried
to the
about
repo,
the future of the HoloLens.
Yeah, I went to the repo getting started link they have there in the first error right there.
Right.
Oh, good news. I was looking at your screen. I see it's already purple. That's great news.
Yeah.
You
I
picked it
did. I
before.
did follow this one on stream, even. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because they
I'll find
updated it 4 days ago. So this is the HoloLens 2 get started.
Nice. Nice.
And this is the guy that I've got locally that I have, and I'm like, well, I would love to be able to actually do this.
Yeah,
have,
and
like, put it
it's
on my
weird
Holo.
that they're having you go into Visual Studio to do this. That's what
I think it's
really
weird how
threw
they
me.
created this solution before they opened the installer and installed the pieces you need.
Yeah.
Wait, the WebView 2 is a Unity. That's a Unity thing. I thought. Hold on, am I wrong?
The WebView 2
No, it's a
does
U-
come
UV
inside of
thing, right?
a Unity asset with the MRTK 2.
I mean,
MRTK 3.
I'm yeah.
And I did get mine working. And I even got it deployed to my HoloLens.
If you go down to HoloLens 2 in the menu there, you should get more specific documentation, right?
Yes.
You're on
definitely.
WinUI
But,
2 now, but
real quick, just to respond to a comment that you made in passing, I am not really concerned about the future of HoloLens in general, because I'm not really targeting HoloLens 2 specifically, but the concepts and everything that you learn from writing AR applications for something like the HoloLens 2, I just happen to find that the HoloLens 2 was very intuitive for me.
all right. Yeah.
So
Are you
it's
still
the best
using
place
it
for me
as
to
a
learn.
virtual screen?
Yes, on occasion. I haven't been lately, but on occasion. Not this app. I opened the wrong one. Ooh, hush phone. Does review that.
I heard that the US military, I mean, they were going to buy a ton of HoloLenses, you know, and use with soldiers, but I think they reverted that because they had headaches with the focus shift. You know, you're looking far away and then you have to look at the screen and then you have to look far away again, and the soldiers got headaches.
With
the HoloLens.
HoloLens?
Yeah. It's something I heard. I can't give you a source for it.
screens. So, like, the whole point behind using AR, especially things like the HoloLens and the Magic Leap, are that it's light that is being shot into your eye as if it's coming from a distance. So you're not focusing on the actual thing itself. You're looking out into the distance. Your pupils are doing what they're supposed to do for distance viewing. And then your eye is receiving the amount of light that you need in order to perceive that something is that distance away from you. It's not the same as looking at a screen that happens, or a hologram that is projected onto a glass surface that is directly in front of your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it and I can 100% agree, but yeah, I read about this somewhere, I think. I have no sources for it. Could be the usual, you know, FUD thing as well. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Oh.
People are scared of new things they don't quite understand, and
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why adoption isn't wider for AR, other than our technology is not great.
also $3,500.
Yeah, and expensive. But I mean, like, things like DFlux was talking about, or you were talking about, the Meta 3 is more affordable than HoloLens, and you can do AR development on it, but it's still, you're not going to walk out in public with a Meta 3
Oh
on your
no,
head.
no, no. Yeah, no.
And then the
But you're not
technology,
gonna want to walk
like,
around in public with a HoloLens either.
yeah, like the glasses that they are now developing, the regular size glasses, they're still bulky, they're still heavy on the bridge of your nose and ungainly, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the Google Glass
Yeah.
was not really
Yes.
AR, it was more a display, right? Like displaying a tiny bit of information in the peripheral of your
And again, reflecting
vision.
it off of or in an actual screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where this one is when I did this
I know
tutorial.
Meta has like actual glasses. I think they did them in cooperation. No, there's a better word.
That's a good word.
Yeah, they did them together with Ray-Ban.
Right.
And they are
Mhm.
not really smart glasses. They are more, a microphone, and you can tell them to take a photo and automatically upload it to Facebook. And those are, yeah, not gonna say not popular, but there are people who really don't enjoy them because you don't know when someone is taking a photo.
Right.
Like they just,
The privacy
the old
thing is
spy
what a lot
thing.
of
They
people
just
are
tap
concerned with.
they just tap their glasses and they take a picture.
It's like, do you know how many cameras are in the world that are taking pictures of you right now?
8.
I hope
8.
none at the moment.
I mean, in my
'Cause-
office.
My camera has a lens cover on it, and I'm not talking about those, tiny ones. I'm talking about a full-sized lens cover, for my DSLR. And the other one is pointed down on my keyboard. I think that's pretty much it. I do have a window in front of me as well, but could be a camera on the other side looking at the lake, and I'm on the other side of the lake, of course. But I don't think they can see very much through the window over here. Unless
So
they
I
have
think-
a telephoto.
I think I finally did find a project that targets the HoloLens. So in order to deploy it to your HoloLens, you either need to have remote access enabled or plugged in via the USB-C. I was pointing at it because that's how.
Yeah, I
know
have
it's
the.
USB-C.
Oh, you have it plugged in. I say I have it on the Wi-Fi with the whole developer stuff
Yeah.
set up.
So if you have the remote device, then you come into File.
Well,
Build and
okay.
Run,
Well,
WP.
so in the guide they have you do a bunch of stuff before you can get there.
Right. Yes. So all of the project setup, which should be close to a one-click setup now.
Let me see. I'm gonna just load up this thing again. It's kicking me errors. Let's see.
As soon as you use the MRTK tool,
Yep, mixed reality feature tool.
feature
thing.
toolkit. Yeah.
Yep. So I just hit that on my project again. I'm on the step. I mean, I'm on step 5. I'm just going to run through it again on a brand new download. In fact, I'm going to skip step 5, so I'm just going to leave it as the default. What's it say?
Dude,
It's the
I had
Unity-
it pinned to my start menu. Where'd it go? Anyway, I know where it is.
Well, my Unity was erroring out, but now it's like taking ages to do a restore dependency, whatever. So it sounds like it's working now. Let that thing run.
That's cool. But yeah, so after you add that, it'll have you reload Unity, and then you do project, apply recommended settings, project settings, and scene settings, and then it does actually tell you to go into project settings, and everywhere that there's a yellow exclamation point, you're pretty much saying
You do
fix
the
all,
fix thing,
fix
right?
all, fix all, and that's all. And it's like, that's not very helpful because you're not telling me exactly what it's fixing or why it's fixing it. So I really can set this up. Yeah, I don't want that one. Install Unity.
Totally
configure the
random
Unity
and
project.
quick question.
12.
Are you a complete asshole if you order something with Amazon Prime for $7.50?
Only if
No.
the shipping is $30.
What?
It's Amazon Prime. It's free shipping.
I just did that yesterday. So
You did?
if the
I must
answer
be
is
missing
yes,
something.
then I am.
Yeah, like order a $1 thing with free shipping. What's the problem?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
an asshole. Hey, I run a company and I ship stuff, and shipping isn't free, even though shipping might be free
but
for
it
the.
kind of is.
You
Yeah.
buy onesie twosie things off of Amazon, like you go to the store to pick up an item and then come back home with just that one item. It's how we
Like the
kinda...
concept of
Baconator,
free
Jesus.
shipping.
I want a Baconator. Will you give me one? Sorry, go ahead, DFlux. Just responding to
The
chat.
concept of free shipping, I think, is really important. Like when you do, like, I hate it when you do business with a when you do business with a business, when you business with a business, and then there's just these fees to start flying in from left field. Like, you see, like, it's $20 on the main site, and then you click okay, buy it, and then like, oh, but there's the thingy fee, and then there's this fee and that fee. It should just be like, you describe what it is, you say the price, and then they figure out on their side how exactly to turn that into a profit margin. But don't be like, well, cost of shipping went up, so we'll just pan it onto the customer. No, bake it in, make it $21 on the main website, and then that should factor into whatever you got to do. Like, that's the whole, like, the tipping thing as well. It's like, can't you just work out, Walmart, how do you get some groceries from your store to my kitchen without just hire an employee, give him a car, give him a van with a fridge thing in the back, and have him drive down and pay him an hourly wage? Why has he got to subcontract that stuff out, and frickin' I've got to then tip the guy because then he's like not really being paid well, and that's messed up as it is. Oh yeah, that bothers me.
I can agree. The thing with, if you're baking in the freight price into the product price, is that if you buy two products, you're going to pay too much.
But that's fine. I'm good with that. I think the because that's where, like, having, like, things like business relationships, and that's where, like, getting to know businesses and helping them understand what you need actually pays off. Because right now, like, if you call up Samsung.com, you call up Samsung right now and say, hey, I need a shipment of 20 SSDs, they're going to quote you a higher price than if you just go to Amazon.com and go, like, 20 SSDs times, go to the Amazon checkout. It'll be cheaper, quicker, and easier if you go to Amazon.com. And in addition, I did this, by the way, Samsung's manufacturer's returns policy is considerably more restrictive and more difficult than Amazon's. So by going directly to the manufacturer and working with the manufacturer, it costs more than if I just went to, like, someone like Amazon.com, which is backwards. You would think
that is really dumb.
Yeah.
But as a seller of things,
so these are the conversations
I
that we
sell
get to
some
when
electronic
DFlux
things
and
with my
Thindal are
company.
together.
Huh? Come again?
we stray away from the technology software topics.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say that, I have things I can buy from suppliers where I'd have to pay more than I pay in normal stores. And that is from a supplier. I mean, it's freaking weird. Imagine, like, I don't know, Samsung selling something for more money. Well, yeah, you said exactly that. It costs more for you to buy it at Samsung than it costs just go to a reseller and buy it there. But imagine that being for a reseller as well, just because you're small. It's really easy to, get into the market when you have to pay, I don't know, 40% more than your bigger competitor. It freaking sucks.
So Mojo has
okay, I will bring
DFlux.
it back around. Yeah, I'll bring it back around to the technology, because as Unity was loading, we went on a tangent. But I'm on step 5 now, so I'm going to go ahead and head over to the packages.
Is that the thing that I just did? No,
yeah. I bought the thing for $7.
Yeah. No, that's completely okay. Like, to me, one thing that who said it? Napalm? No, Big Amy said is that mostly here it is the Amazon vans or USPS, not couriers like UPS or FedEx. Yeah, for us, we have the garage delivery thing through Prime, which is awesome, by the way. And I usually see FedEx being the one using that, I think. but we just buy onesie twosie things as needed. So for example, we have a product coming today that they're going to deliver into my garage, and it's most likely because our Amazon distributor facility is up the street, like maybe an hour away at most. So we get stuff directly from
An
there.
hour away up the street.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider that this is a large Amazon distribution facility, it's not a city or a state over. It's
All
right
right,
next door.
Are they still doing that, fulfillment? Well, maybe not in this case, but there was the whole issue with an Amazon subsidiary from the state next door or another state selling the thing to you. They could avoid tax. Something like if you buy something from out of state in the US, you didn't have to pay sales tax.
This is definitely not technology, but yes, the federal government in like the late 2000s or about 10 years ago passed a law saying pretty much everything sold online, if it's not, has to be charged a tax where the thing has physical presence. So if the store doesn't have a physical presence in the state legally can't collect sales tax, even though the product was sold in that state. Which is why Amazon simply went through Middle America and destroyed every single sort of mom and pop retailer shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on
right,
WebView.
so
Go with the mixed reality scene context. Where am I going? Drag the WebView
Mixed reality
tab
scene
onto your scene.
context. Wait, I thought you said you were on 5.
I am on step 5. Set up WebView 2 prefab in Unity scene.
Wrong step 5. Okay.
Wrong step 5. Yeah, you're
step
within
5.
step 3. Yes, big step 5. Yeah.
Yes, this is where I am too. Okay. So we'll do this together. In the Unity editor, find WebView 2 prefab. So the easiest way to do that is to come over into your packages in your project view, look for WebView 2. Although, if I recall correctly, this thing is not where I expect it to be. Oh, it is. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I just followed the path. So it's
it gave us a text.
Microsoft. Yeah. So packages. Then
Microsoft.
it's that Microsoft Reality preview thing. It should be in that folder. Yeah. There it is.
You see it?
I don't see it. I only had one Microsoft in mine.
Oh.
Mine was under packages, mathematics. I'll post a screenshot of Discord so you see what I'm seeing.
Time. Prefabs. Because it's not WebView 2. It's just WebView. Step 5. Is that using a US feed or steps might be slightly smaller or bigger? Truth. Okay. So we added it to our scene. Now what?
Danish.
Select it in the hierarchy and move it to a suitable location, which is where? That's a good location for it.
Mentioning it, but I love that Brooklyn Nine-Nine clip. It's still funny as heck.
Behind this.
I think Duke knows which one I'm talking about.
All right, this is where knowing how to use Unity helps. So I have a camera, and I have I clicked out of something now. Dang it. Okay, main camera, and I have the WebView 2. So I'm gonna put like the WebView 2 by the main camera. I shouldn't.
Like if you ran the setup, I think it gets rid of main camera and replaces it with the mixed reality camera. I honestly don't remember. Like right now, I only have this thing called the XR rig and input simulators.
Oh, see, I don't have any of that. I have a unentitled WebView and a WebView and a main camera direction of white.
Did they have you?
I must have skipped a step.
Yeah, so set up a new OpenXR project with MRTK. Because all of that has to be
this
done
is like a
before.
clickathon. It really is a clickathon.
Yeah, it is. Because otherwise, you don't get the XR camera, you don't get the play scene with the black background instead of a skybox, because everything that's black in a XR and an AR scene is transparent.
Yeah, because what am I doing? Previously, when I did this, they had everything already done. But this time, I'm not doing it from scratch.
There's John Games is here. What a
Hey.
time to pop in.
Nerd.
Mary
Adjourn.
Poppins. Did I miss I missed a whole bunch of chat already though, haven't I? Terrible at this. This is my favorite part of doing Unity related stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Oh, yeah, what movie you do? Okay, so yeah, the
Irish.
completed project is completely separate from like the getting started project.
I will be right back. I just got a phone call.
Okay.
So that's where I downloaded the completed project and tried to just run that on my environment to see what it looked like. But this is the like starting from scratch. But let me see if I can catch up with you.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's going to take a minute for it to apply the settings, like on mine it just did, but there shouldn't be too much you have to do. Like what I liked before was they had a click-through guide. I don't know what it's called, but in Visual Studio it'd be a tool window that pops up where you can click on apply project settings, next, configure this, next, use this, next. And then it walked you through it, and then you had to restart Visual Studio, Unity. But now it's just these 1-2 click things, and that's it. I love that sound. Don't remote play? Cool. Just play in the editor, please. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's still played, so I'm good with saving this for now. But yeah, tell us where you're at. Tell us.
So should I be
what's going on.
right now I'm looking at am I supposed to set up which guide I'm supposed to follow? Set up a new XR project with MRTK or set up a new XR project without
With OpenXR. So
without
whatever.
set up a new OpenXR project
With
Okay.
MRTK.
Yeah, that one right there. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So you should already
Yeah,
have
MRTK.
your project created, and you should have already selected or opened the
And see,
mixed reality
this is
feature
where-
tool.
This is where their version differs from my version. So
Like the mixed reality feature tool should be the same-ish. And then at minimum, select the Mixed Reality Toolkit Foundation and OpenXR plugin. And that's it. That's all it takes to get the MRTK into your Unity project. The problem is, the thing that I really, really don't understand about Unity is why isn't there one centralized cache for all of the packages that you import into your project so that they can be available if you want, instead of having a copy in every single flipping project.
you know, Unity is very, very close to adopting Nugget and was it files?
Yeah, but you're still like, if you add an asset package, it's still going to get added to this project in this packages folder, as opposed to let's just reference the cache. If it's not
Right.
in your cached folder location, download it then. Otherwise, just reference it
Right. Yeah, because then the folders become huge, right? Because if you have 8.
instantly. Huge.
Thindal is back.
Thindal has
Did you
entered
miss
the
me?
chat.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Nice.
I haven't got much further. You didn't miss.
Didn't miss a lot.
No, I'm still waiting for Unity to catch up. It's
Am I the only one he's dropping in and out
No.
for?
No. It's push to talk, I think.
All right.
Oh, am I doing the thing where my
Yeah.
voice is like delayed, and so when I let go of the push talk, it's still actually like playing stuff? Is that
Yeah.
this is the most annoying issue on planet Earth.
I
Have
don't
you
think
tried
so.
not using push to talk? I mean,
No,
I have
that's not the
open mic.
problem. Like, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I use this because I have a Yeti, but most mics have this.
I have like a minus 20 dB thing, but that's not actually the problem. There you go. I
have
just
a
turned
button
on the
on
voice
my,
automated thing, so let me know if I sound okay.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely.
But yeah, the actual problem is this. For whatever reason, my $300 Scarlett, whatever it is, USB sound thing, every now and again randomly introduces a 2-second lag to when I'm actually saying something to when like you guys start hearing it. So that's why sometimes, and I apologize in advance, I just magically start talking over you. It's not because I'm talking over you, it's because no one's talking and I start, and there's like a 2-second delay of nothing, and then you guys like want to fill the space, you're on silence, so someone starts talking, and then I'm already talking, but there's a delay.
Yeah, don't worry. We know you don't.
I'm going to quickly
respect us
unplug and
enough
replug it because that fixed it last time. I'll replug it real quick and see if it.
Yeah.
That's good. So hi
Why do you have a
JDK.
Scarlet?
Are you a Java developer? I am nothing. You are something. You're here. Why do I have a Scarlet? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Scarlet what?
Scarlett is
It's
it's supposed to be a high class, like a nice one, where it's XLR to USB basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meant for like podcasts or like audio or like recording a guitar or whatever. And it's supposed to be like the bee's knees, but my one is shit apparently.
Yeah, I think it used to be the bee's knees, but these days, yeah, I mean, depends on what microphone you have.
No, that's what I'm stupid. I have a $99 one downstairs that I don't use. I should just unplug this stupid one and plug that one in. That's what I should do. I can't tell the difference between the $300 one and the $99 one, other than the price. Oh, I think Unity has caught up with me. Yep.
I mean,
okay,
depends on if you need a preamp to boost your mic, right? If you don't need one, there's no reason to use a Scarlett. You can use a much cheaper one. Scarlett is
48
apparently pretty good as a preamp.
Yeah, I need the 48 volts to get my microphone to work.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so we're on set up your build. Okay, so here's where it differs. And so this is where I get lost and I can't find the alternative documentation. So I'm on that set up your new OpenXR project with MRTK. I'm on the second big step, or there's second big step. Set up your build type. So I go File, Build Settings. And then on my one, they have their PC, Mac, and Linux standalone. I don't have that option.
You don't need to.
Scroll down
You just need
bit.
UWP. That's all.
Yeah, Universal Windows. Then I scroll down to Universal Windows, and it says Target Device, HoloLens. I don't have that. I have Architecture as my top one. Like you have.
Yeah, you're right. And it will be
PS5 now?
It will be ARM64.
ARM64.
Yes. Which is on here. It's just in a different order.
Well, they have Target Device HoloLens. I don't have that as a thing. I ARM64.
True.
And then,
True.
Yeah, so I don't know what chain. That's what I'm saying. I don't have that. All right,
That's
so
weird.
let's see. D3D project, Tarek latest, installed 10 dot whatever matches nice. Latest installed. All right, cool. Click the switch platform. Will do. Switch platform. Oh, it's doing stuff. Very nice. That's quick. All right. After the switch platform process is finished, close the build settings window. Check. Download and
Typically
install.
at
Okay,
my
this is
speed.
the MR. Okay, so this is this tool that I've got here. So let me go ahead and.
feature tool. So
Yep,
this
let me
is
go
what
over
he's
to my
doing. I'm doing
project
this
thing.
on my screen so that they can see what you're doing too.
And I can share my screen too if you want me to if that helps.
I mean, we only have 5 minutes left, so.
Oh shit. Oh damn. Every time, bro. Every time.
But you got this. You got this. Keep going.
Okay. Download and install the blah 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 tool. Okay, here we go. Go
And when
to
it
the
says install, it
folder.
really means just download the exe. to
Double
your
click the
computer.
exe. Yeah. All right. So I got that, and then it goes in. Select discover features.
After you
And
select
then
your
it
project path,
says-
yes.
Yes. So I go tick the Mixed Reality Toolkit Foundation.
At minimum, the Mixed Reality Toolkit Foundation and
Yep.
the
OpenXR, Mixed Reality OpenXR plugin.
under platform support.
Oh, that's right. Mixed Reality Open.
And
Cool.
while you're there,
All right,
make sure
got
that since you need it anyway, other features.
Should
the
yeah, I
WebView.
was gonna say WebView too. All right. Preview. Cool. Preview. Get with the same version. All
And
right,
then
cool.
for,
And I'm
for
gonna
those of you watching at home, all this does is it adds it to your manifest so that when you go back to Unity, it'll read the manifest and then download the packages.
I didn't know that, so I appreciate that too. All right, so now I gotta reopen the project, right? Oh,
I mean, the project should already be open. You just have to set the
Yeah.
window as active.
yeah, I went to click the X button and then it started doing stuff. All right. Installing packages, 58 to go. All right, so configure the project for all attempts to
295,000 seconds.
So now I'm going to the configure project to the Holland 2 via project validation.
Egg, your computer's
Configure.
fast. 200.
No, I'm just reading ahead.
95,000. Oh,
They're still doing stuff. I'm just reading ahead. So yeah, so okay, this is via project validation. It has a brackets MR open 16 plus. Okay, so if you're developing desktop VR, skip this section and go to. Okay, so if you're developing for desktop VR, so I skip this section because I'm not developing for blah blah blah. We scroll down, so we do configure the project for HoloLens 2 manually. All right, that sounds good. Make sure the project settings window is open. Oh, here we go. We're still doing stuff, so it's going to be under what? Edit project settings. Ready the
I mean,
buttons.
supposedly you should be able to just push the button that shows up in the menu. So I do love the ability to extend Unity easily. Like you can add menu items using a package like that. So they gave us a couple buttons that we could use, but may as well do it manually, I guess. Once it's done, whatever it's doing.
Warning, this project is using a new input system package, but the native blah 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 is not enabled by system.
Oh, this is the window I was talking about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you should just be able to follow through with the thing that popped up. Apply settings. Next.
Oh, yeah. MRT project configuration configurator just showed up. Oh, and it closed
just push
again.
apply in next to all of them. Yeah, it'll close and reopen.
All right, I'm gonna be patient. All right. So I don't have to do the configure manually. This is going to do it for me, or
yeah, it should. Except that there's still a couple places where you will need to push the fix all button, and it tells you in the instructions when to do that.
Yeah, I remember doing this one a while ago, so at least this feels somewhat familiar.
Actually, I think they have screenshots for it too.
All right, okay, here we go. Welcome to the MRTK. So I'm doing the one recommended. Yep. It's like, cool. Okay, hold on, it says. All right, holding on.
Spinny, 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 spinny.
Spinny. What did you have on your finger there?
Nothing. I was just spinning
Nothing?
stuff. A
Okay,
gentle
here we go.
reminder is what it is.
Windows. What am I doing? And then go install on startup. That's already tipped. OpenXR is untipped. So click OpenXR. And then click Microsoft that guy.
We just got rated.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh, good timing. Good timing.
Tim.
So anyway, hello everyone that just rated in. We are
Hello.
on a community day where we have Thindal
Hello.
and DFlux,
What's up?
and we are going through a mixed reality toolkit tutorial. Normally, I end my stream at 12:30, but today is going to be a magical Friday. We're going to keep going until just for a little while longer, not too much longer, because any time that I add now, I'm adding to the end of my workday. And I really don't want the end of my workday to be 5 o'clock.
On a Friday, yeah. I can imagine. Hey, Gorley. Hey, Tim. How are ya?
Hi guys, thank you so much, Tim, for the raid. I'm sure the majority of you that are in the stream already know Tim, but he is an amazing Unity developer. You do use Unity, right?
I'd like to say that he's an awesome human being.
He's an
but I think
amazing
he's
game
doing,
developer.
I think he's doing
For hours on
Epic,
end.
whatever it's called.
Unreal.
What's the Epic
I'm a
engine called?
human. Unreal.
Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal Engine. Yeah. Am I right, Tim?
I mean, like, I'm almost always
Oh,
lurking
your
in
own
stream.
engine. Nice. Yeah, I
His
saw that you
own
were
engine.
working with C++ at least. Kind of insane. I haven't done my own engine in 20 years or something. And that went so-so. Very fancy stuff.
That's weird. It says the channel you're trying to shout out. You have to wait another 20 seconds. So maybe Dukasoft already did it. He already did the fancy shout out for Tim. But anyway, yes. While we're waiting for stuff to load on DFlux's screen, let's do a fancy pants shout out with preview for Tim. Let's see. The last thing is it, or not lasting. Random clip. Whoa.
What are you building? Also, that's a lot of screens.
I'm very sad. I'm very sad.
Leave the interaction.
He says with a smile.
Oh, here it is.
Working on the spline editor and stuff. Yeah, I'm not very into, I'm not very knowledgeable about game dev stuff. I am into it. It's just I haven't had time to do it. I am predominantly an application developer, and I say application because it's more than just web dev, but I target multiple platforms like desktop, iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, and web. I was missing one of the pieces to install 2 more monitors, which is just why I was sad. I see. That's really sad. All right, and then you push the fix all buttons.
Yeah, I'm
And
doing
that's how you
I'm
get
going through
Unity to
the
work.
fix the app stuff now. Pretty close. Hand tolerance, hand tracking tolerance, hand tracking.
I'd also like to have a
motion.
fix all button.
Yeah, I use that in all of my apps. I have a fix all button.
Yeah, but I meant like, for
something
life
about
in general,
using-
just fix all done.
Microsoft Spatializer, I
Oh,
think.
okay, cool. All right. So now I'm on the configure player setting. Configure player settings. Project settings window. Select player. Okay. Go to the project settings window, and we're going to select player. All right.
Player.
Product name.
please.
I'm just leaving that as
But yes,
no
hello to
different
everyone.
name. It's already
Typically,
filled. Okay,
what we
good.
do on our stream, by the way, is we work on a stream project. It is, again, multi-platform, but I use Blazor, which is a .NET technology for creating web UI that you can run anywhere. essentially. And so DFlux brought up, he was trying to get this WebView 2 control that we normally use for putting web content into something like a desktop WPF application. But they have released a WebView control for the HoloLens for augmented reality development. And so we're playing around with setting up a Unity project to do that. Is there any C++ repo for Fixall implementation? I'm sure there is.
Tim, I think that's an
and
NPM
that,
exclusive, so that would be JavaScript. I'm sorry. It's like left pad, you know?
So the MRTK window isn't like automatically going away. Press.
It shouldn't.
Is
You
that
should
because I missed
click
it?
next until you get all the way to the end. Next and apply to
I don't-
everything that it tells
So
you.
it says I'm still on the configure MRTK, and I have the XR pipeline settings. Enable the XR pipeline. Oh, I have an exclamation mark. Can't edit. At least one must be added.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
probably why. Yeah. So in here, make sure that all of your Fixall stuff gets clicked.
Yeah, let me. Let's close it again. Nope, still there. I've got this. At least one interaction profile must be added. Please select which controller you'll be testing against. in
Yeah.
the
So
feature
this
menu.
window should have done that for you. It should have added the interaction stuff for you.
Well,
Do you
Should I
have
close
the
them open,
MRTK project configurator window still open?
yeah. I'm on the welcome to MRTK. This configure will go through some of the settings, and on the show XL plugin management settings. So I went through the configure. I went through the documentation for.
So you're on this screen, right?
config. Welcome to blah, 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 blah. Similar. I just have the show XL plugin in management settings. I don't
There
have
is
the.
no
I
apply
think I already clicked the
settings.
apply. I think I already clicked that.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I have lots to add to this. I have no idea. Never done this.
So it's. So the play mode. What does it want again?
Well, okay. Well, can you see my screen? Because here are the
Yes, yeah,
interaction
yep.
profiles it would have added for you.
And you're in the Windows, and I have
Yeah, open XR Windows, click on the
Open
plus
XR.
sign.
interaction. Yeah, I see. I manually added the 3 interaction profiles.
Okay, good.
Is that? I think it needs to know. I'm looking at yours. I'm looking at mine. Yeah, we're pretty much 1 for 1 the same.
Cool. And then same thing on this,
So-
on the first tab.
And on the first tab, I'm looking.
Because it does
very
come
similar.
plain?
3
Alright,
guys.
cool.
I don't have. Oh, okay. So this is where I skipped. I don't have the 3 things in the list on the main window. So I've got to add them here too, I guess. That's what I must have missed. So eye-based one, which is the eye glaze, and then the motion, and then the hand. Okay, that's maybe what I missed.
And then the other thing that might help is if you do get super duper stuck in MRTK3 utility, project, apply recommended project settings.
Maybe I should. Well, it's still saying the same thing, but the exclamation mark is gone. Let me see if I find another exclamation mark anywhere. No.
If you get really, really stuck, you send a message to one line on Discord.
No, we won't be. I often will post to his Discord, and the community can respond, but that's unfair. He's doing enough.
And there
with
is our
his
Discord
streams.
link. Thanks, Microsoft.
Yes. So it's still not going away, but should I skip and then do the thing you just said?
Yeah, try going to mixed reality project, apply recommended project settings.
Mixed reality project apply recommended. Okay, nice. Oh, we got one. I got one issue here. It says blah blah blah. It's recommended for the main camera to have a clear background and a solid blah blah blah.
So that will be
Okay.
scene settings, which will get set up in the next one.
So I think we're good. I think I can skip this MRTK window. I
so
skipped that one. So now I'm on the project settings, apply, next. All right, so now I'm on the import TMP essentials.
Yeah, may as well.
import team.
So that has to do with rendering text in your game objects.
Okay. And I now have the done.
This seems
window.
like an
Okay,
older
done.
version though. But yeah.
Okay. Yep. So I think I'm good. Okay. So now
Yeah,
I've
in
done
any
that.
of your
Okay.
menu items up here, do you have something that says add to scene and configure, or
In
Just apply
MRTK project, no, under toolkit.
yeah?
Toolkit. I have add to scene and configure. The only thing I
do
don't have is I don't have MRTK3 as an option. I have the toolkit project and but that's
No, just do the add to scene and configure. I think I was trying out MRTK3, which is the
okay.
latest version,
Second
and it's piecemeal, where you only have certain things available as opposed to this MRTK2 that you're using, which is the foundation and all of that stuff.
Okay, so I did that, and then on the right hand side under the inspector, that MRTK guy came up again
Yeah.
with some mixer toolkit. Profile can be
So
used.
this is something different. This has to do with setting up your actual MRTK stuff. So for example,
ignore
let's
that?
say, well, you'll need this in the future, but for now you can ignore it, because the main thing you're trying to get to is a web view in your scene that displays a web page in AR. That's just a 2D panel that sits in space.
Gotcha. But so you would So in the future, I'll be using this to set up like
Yeah, so this will be like
the-
for your environment settings. Do you want to see the little thing that tells you the diagnostics of how much RAM you're using, how much CPU?
Gotcha.
Do you want your background here to be the right skybox, which is completely black, for example? But in order to do any of that, you're essentially going to create your own version of it by copying it, and then every single thing that you want to override, you first clone it and then you change the settings. So camera, why are you semi cut off? Clone this one. Yeah, and then you can do stuff like for my camera.
Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm back on now. Now I'm back to step 5, right? Set up the Web 2 prefab in Unity scene.
That's color.
So we go packages, Microsoft mixed reality. Packages, Microsoft mixed reality. Runtime. Oh, mixed reality. Runtime prefab. Yep, prefab. And I see the web view, and I'm going to drag and drop you into the.
Yeah. So
drag and drop
this
it into
in the
your
hierarchy.
scene.
Yeah, when you can
Yes.
either drag it into the scene itself or into the hierarchy, and if you put it in the hierarchy, just in an empty spot, it'll go at 0, 0, 0, 0.
Okay, I've done that. Perfect. All right, I see a little orange thing that's popped up, square
Cool.
thing.
And then move it towards the blue so that in your game scene, game window, this thing, it's not
window.
like
Yeah,
whoa.
that.
It's not right
that-
in front of the camera. Oh, it probably a tab currently.
Window. A tab. Oh yes, it is a tab. Good. What am I doing again? Sorry.
So that when you have your web view selected,
You should
in
see
the
it there.
editor, in the scene view, you want to move it away. And
But
for,
to-
it
to-
looks
so
to
you
me
can-
like 1.3 is a decent distance away.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. All right, I just saw that. Game. Yeah, I see it. So I got just like you, I got like a square on my screen now.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Okay, so we got that, and now we're going to step 6, which is hit the play button. Easy enough.
And that's it. I mean, like it tells you in the inspector, you can change the URL, you can change the quality of it, stuff like that. The thing that it really doesn't go into very much detail is how do we handle user interactions? So when in the game mode, what is this called, guys? Unity developers, the game window?
Play mode?
Play mode. In play mode.
I don't know.
In the game window that you can maximize, for example, if you hold the shift key, that gives you your left hand, spacebar gives you the right hand. and then holding left click will pinch gesture. So right now you see that the what are they called, tether going off of my finger, it doesn't have a little circle on the actual WebView control because the WebView control doesn't interact with gestures. My finger will go through it, but it will not tap on it. So I can't do far interaction. I can't do near interaction. But you can add near and far interaction to the WebView control, WebView asset.
Well, yeah, so because that's what step 7 is, right? Extending the WebView 2 functionality, add the input fields and buttons.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this was for making it navigable. But again, what you're doing in step 7, which I didn't see here.
I've relinked it. I'm not on that one anymore. I'm on the WebView 2 specific guy.
So what this is actually doing is you're creating Unity game objects that you're placing around the WebView control.
Gotcha.
So when you push back, you're interacting with a Unity object, game object. The text field is a Unity game object, and the go button that controls this WebView via scripts. But tapping on the actual WebView, they don't go into.
Right. So now I've got this working somewhat. Now I've got to actually publish it to my.
Yeah, if you want to run it in your HoloLens, there's a few ways. My favorite way.
What's the easy way? Go ahead.
Is using holographic remoting.
Holographic remoting. Let me see if I get on my windows here real quick. Oh, I had to search. I love the search. They should make that bigger. Holographic remote play mode. Remoting?
Holographic remoting for mixed reality or something like that.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you do that untethered, or do you need to connect to your computer?
Untethered. So as long as you have developer mode set up on your HoloLens and
I do.
The other thing, whatever it's called, remote access, then you type in the IP address for the host name, and then the port you probably had
or even the name of the HoloLens. Yep.
Oh yeah. However, it's on your local network. However you identified on.
Yeah, if you got a DNS working, you could probably enter that, right?
Yeah, or even just its computer names.
Okay, so I did that. All right, let me
make
sure
it's
switched on, and I've got it on my face.
And then you also have to have the holographic remoting app on your HoloLens. Download from the Windows Store.
I think I do have that. I want to say I do. Maybe I don't. That might be a step I've skipped.
And I would put mine on, but my desk is not at a state where I can allow a camera to.
That's fine.
Show it.
Yeah. So the what was the app you just said? The name of it? Holographic
remoting. Same as the asset in Unity.
I do not have that. Okay, let me grab that real quick.
And then essentially it's just a listener that listens on port 8265 for whatever is sent. So from this point on, as long as this thing is enabled, when you push play, it's going to look for your HoloLens and try to play it through that port. And you'll be able to interact with it and see your stuff happen in the game window too. It's really cool.
Is holographic one word or two words?
One.
Yes.
Holographic. Oh, I went to click on it and it changed it as I was leading into it.
I hate that.
Holographic. There we go. Yeah. I have my holographic remote player. Remoting player.
That's the one. Yeah, holographic remoting player.
That's the one. Oh, made by Microsoft. Good sign. All right. It seems like everything made by a third party. Well, everything made on a third party on the App Store here costs money.
Yeah.
Nothing is free here.
It's like, here's this really cool visualize anatomy app. You can download it, but then you need a paid account to be able to access it.
Yeah.
Well, if you spend $3,500 on the device, maybe they're expecting you to be able to pay a few hundred.
Yeah, because only enterprises are currently widely using this. So
Yeah.
like industry.
All right, so I've got
industrial.
that installed. Oh shit, it's just popping up. All right, you need permission. All right, yes I do. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear on your thing.
Your language.
Holographic remote player. Give it the permission again. Give it permission again. This app, blah 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 blah. Waiting for connection. Okay, so it's waiting for connection. So I hit play, right?
Yeah, now that it's waiting, push play, and it's going to show up somewhere, and you're going to be like, that's not where I want it, and you're going to try to move it around, but it doesn't have, again, a near interaction or far interaction handler. And in order to add that to it, you need to do magical things that all of you existing Unity devs are like, oh, that's cake. I know how to do that, but I'm going to BS my way through it, and hopefully it works. You had...
So I hit play. Yeah, I don't see nothing.
a script called near interaction.
Don't worry, I don't see nothing either.
I was gonna say, shouldn't there be some sort of like login that?
No, because you're on local network, it's going to just stream directly to that whatever IP address, or just put in the IP instead. It should tell you what the IP
okay,
is.
It does.
So put that in there instead, and then
8.1.24. Nobody hacked
leave it
my
on the
IP.
default port, and then disable and re-enable.
How would I hack your internal IP?
Because you're a hacker. That's fine.
Yes, you
not
can
good enough.
absolutely do
Yeah. It's just a matter of belief.
it.
Oh, hey, that would work. The IP fixed it. I don't know if it's me. Just a note. I think you might have your microphone slightly loose while online, because I hear like a fuzziness on your.
It started
sound.
when he entered play
Hello?
mode, I think.
It did. It did. Yeah.
It kind of crackles a little bit. What happens if you close Unity?
Let's see.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yep. I see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's as far as we're going
do a
today
backflip on
anyway.
my table for it to work. Yes.
So DFlux, the next step is, if you want to have it install on your HoloLens, you would go to File,
Yes.
Build Settings, make sure you're on the UWP, add your current scene. There's a button for
File
Add
build
Scene.
settings. I'm on UWP. Add open scene.
The crackling is gone.
And then
Cool.
the target, or I don't know what it says anymore. Actually, I should be able to see it on.
I got build and run. And I have
Before
create,
that, making
create.
sure that you select your device that you want it to build and run on.
On the build on the local machine remote device.
Yes, that's the one. And then that's where you put, this is the one that needs your IP address starting with HTTPS. So change
with IP
the
address.
build and run on to remote.
And then I need my same, like the login I have.
HTTPS:// IP address.
Yep.
And then username and password. And then you can do build and run. And that will install it on your HoloLens. The other one is, if you do a local machine, it'll generate an APK, I believe. And you can sideload that using the portal. Yeah. I forget what it's called. The dev
To be
portal.
able to publish this to the store, you need a code signing certificate, right?
Yep.
Or is that no longer a requirement?
It is.
Oh, no.
It's a requirement.
Sounds expensive.
$800 something.
Not sure what it costs to get one in the US, but over here you can easily expect 1,500 maybe.
Well, I don't think there's really any difference in like the actual process is exactly the same in the US as in your country. I don't think there's any difference. Okay, so
I
I
was
put my.
thinking competition and stuff.
Oh, I see.
I think there's like 2 companies that do it in Sweden, so.
So now I just hit build and run, and it'll do it.
Yeah. As long as your device is
build
on
and run.
and connected
Oh, yeah,
to your
open up a
network.
folder.
Had you pick a folder? You shouldn't have to pick a folder. Do you have to pick a folder when you do that? Maybe you do. So what I typically do is I create a folder called build inside of the same place that it takes you.
Okay, I'll do that. Can do. build.
Typically, he says, I've done this, like I've done the tutorial about, I don't know, 80 times in a row, but I haven't really gone too much further.
Sure. See? And so it just now will show up. I should go back to the main menu and it just shows up as an app.
Yes, exactly.
How do I? Okay, I think I must have messed up because I did build and run, and then it just didn't do anything.
It really should. So once it finishes side loading the APK and installing itself, it really should launch itself on your HoloLens.
Oh.
Yeah, if it's anything like sideloading normal applications onto anything, it's gonna take
like
a little while.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
it takes a little while.
In my bottom left, I have a nice little build complete with result failed. So that's why I didn't do anything. Let me run that one more time. Did the whole folder thing again. Maybe I should be doing just build instead of build and run.
And you did do HTTP. Oh, is it HTTP only?
HTTPS.
Yeah, there's of course Solus Ellipsis, who is working in XR currently. Hello, Max.
Oh,
we're going a little long today.
I can try HTTP.
Yeah, have you already accessed the device portal once on your computer?
Yeah, I've got like
it's the same. It's the same URL.
Yeah. I have HTTPS in there.
It is at HTTPS. Okay. And of course, mine is gonna fail because my HoloLens isn't on.
Release.
Yeah, I just wanted to see this.
Oh yeah, it's the folder thing. Okay, so that is right. Maybe I'm supposed to run something that it puts in that folder or something.
No. So all it does is it creates all of your artifacts, is what it would normally be called, the output from this. And I want to inspect that. I want to see what's in the folder.
Oh my!
And then afterwards, then it will try to connect to your HoloLens, deploy the APK, install it.
Okay, so maybe what I should be doing is I should do build and then build and run, because I hit build and it's actually doing stuff now. Like it's actually like compiling scripts and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Like what you're doing.
Oh,
so I could very well maybe put the wrong password or something stupid like that. That's possible. Check that. Admin.
My PC broke. That's sad. My bladder's about to break.
Your PC? Oh, that's he kinda broke. Well, that means you can probably kinda unbreak it too.
No, Dukazov, no. Why?
Oh, I mean,
because he's Duka.
True.
I mean, I love
You're supposed to be the best non-bot
kind
bot.
of evil.
You're not an evil bot. Too many events, systems in the scene.
Ooh, I think that's part of the problem. I'm gonna say username is case sensitive, and I put lowercase. It might
is
be
it
uppercase.
Interesting?
That's the only thing I can think of that I've messed up just from looking. I'm still waiting for this build to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm kind of curious whether the build actually built for me.
Let me change that. Okay.
Nope. Unity repos. Local.
So, Purple, what's the error message in the blue screen? Should be able to read out, what it is.
It's called stop screen. No longer blue.
There's like a ton of things that you could think of. Hello, Dragon Spirit Games. If you guys don't know Dragon Spirit Games, he's working on a Unity game called Gaia. It's about his daughter who's going to go off to save the world. My favorite thing about it is that he is targeting all audiences. He wants to make it where anyone can play it, even if you have various disabilities, which is so cool. Shout out. Dragon.
All right, it's thinking about it really now. It's going to building solution with Visual Studio 2022. It's doing something. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident because I'll let you go because I don't want to add to your project. Probably.
It was eating all of my stuff again, causing me to get choppy. So your voice probably came through to everyone else very choppily.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was his end? I thought it was me.
I heard that's very choppy as well.
Oh. Probably running Unity builds and apps.
Probably.
You gotta read really quickly.
Nice.
That's almost impossible to understand, man. At least for me.
I closed Unity thinking that it was me. Yeah. Worn out.
Yeah, no,
something
it
to
was
do.
you before.
Working from home 5 days a week with 2 young
When you
kids.
closed
Yeah.
Unity, you
That would be
stopped
tough, Dragon
cracking.
Spirit. Oh my goodness. So
Maybe
I
it's
work.
my Unity.
It is. It is. I work from home 5 days a week. I stand at this desk for just about 8 hours straight. I mean, I go upstairs to refill my water bottle and do some bio breaks and stuff, but pretty much in front of this. And then I go upstairs and do some cooking, hang out with my wife, eat dinner, and then we come back down here and I'm doing more programming over there. So yeah. It's like, I guess there's something to be said about having to take a force break if you have to commute to work. But for me, it's just like, I love it.
Oh, so mine now says running on Unity.
It says run.
I don't see anything. Well, it says running
Running
on Unity.
Cool.
With like the screen's still there, but I don't see anything yet on my. I'm just in a dark. Oh, no, that's a reflection. That was a reflection of the plastic.
But yeah, okay.
Corner of my eye. I think. Oh, it's doing something now. It's doing that whole like room scanning thing that it does.
Yeah, for those of you that
Ooh,
don't
yeah.
know, this is what This is what DFlux has on his head right now, and he is running the app from this tutorial in this device. This little thingy is a visor that reflects light. It's not the same as, well, technically, like at a surface level, it's the same as just shining a light onto it and reflecting an image, but it's not like you have a display device up here anywhere. You're actually shooting a beam of light through the lens, and it's bouncing off and then shooting into your eye as light, which is what makes it look like the 3D
it is there.
hologram.
Yes, that worked. That
is
worked.
far away.
Yeah.
Or
A wild
wherever it needs to
DFlux
be.
appeared for us.
Oh,
Yeah, I shared my. I don't know. You can share or whatever. I just wanted to. Just trying to display what it was. But yeah, the actual like screens here, so I have to like lean over this table and look back
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah. Mine usually ends up behind my monitors or behind me, and it's like, where
And
is
that's
it?
when I got to adjust the camera. I think I adjusted the camera and then I didn't save it or something like that. But yeah, that worked. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
All right then. So we're gonna end there because I really got to go buy a break.
Thanks so much.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for
I hope that gets you running. Now you know how to do that. Use Microsoft Learn. They have an entire Moonlander tutorial that walks you through how to do that. But I know you're specifically looking at the WebView. So if you figure out more stuff now, please let me know.
Yeah.
Because I'm really interested. Yeah. Any last words from you, DFlux?
Thank you so much. You rock. Thank you everyone in chat for being here and not getting bored with my talking. And so thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Remember to like, subscribe, resubscribe, like get your best buddy, get him to watch this stream. And we got to keep pressuring 119 to not abandon Twitch because he's got a busy life and lots of responsibilities.
Yeah. I'm doing my best not to. Here's another shout out.
I really do appreciate it.
Cool. And then Thindal.
Yeah. Use no docs. Say hi.
When's the next stream?
Next stream is most probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I always stream on Tuesdays, or I try to, and I try to do like one extra day a week. Usually fail, but I try. If you want to catch me live, I'll be at Sweet Hug holding a session in October. And there is a possibility, because I've submitted the session to a online event that some of you might attend, and we'll see if it's accepted. And in that case, I'll be there as well. But first of all, if you want to meet me face to face and you're anywhere near Sweden, just come by and say hi.
Beautiful.
All right then. Thank you guys for the extremely fun times. I hope you enjoy the rest
Yeah,
of
it's
your
been
days.
great. I couldn't help very much during the last half there, but
That's fine. We still
Been
had some
fun.
really good conversations up front to start with.
oh, definitely, definitely.
So that was
Take
cool.
care, guys,
All right.
and bye, chat.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Cool. And thank you all. We're going to raid out to Irish John Games because I never get to, because I always end my stream 30 minutes before he starts his. So if you want to, feel free to stick around. Again, majority of you, if not all of you, already know Irish John Games. He's a fantastic developer working on Rise of Piracy. Check it out on Steam. Dukasoft just posted the link for us there. Thank you so much. As for this video, it's going to be posted to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. So tomorrow, 12:30 Mountain Time is usually when I have it scheduled for, if I remember to do all the thumbnail stuff, which shouldn't take too much effort. It's mostly writing a description for what we talked about and did. But yeah, that's it for me. I will see you again the next time you're around. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, UTC -6 currently. So if you feel like coming back the next time, it'll be Monday. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. Enjoy your weekend. Ciao for now. Also, Max, if you can, post your stuff in Discord so that we can help you better. Sorry, we didn't actually get to it. But if someone can help out Max, reach out to him.